There it is. Just like I said it would happen, Valve released the Steam Deck update just a few hours after I had finished my Friday video on Thursday night. And I knew it would happen. And I'm not psychic. I've noticed that Steam Deck clients usually drop on Wednesday or Thursday nights, usually at the end of the workday for the West Coast since Valve is based in Seattle. So if an update hasn't hit by Wednesday night, then I usually expect to see a release the following day, which would be Thursday. But it is a little inconvenient when an update doesn't hit, but I know there's going to be one and I'm trying to do a news video for you guys. So we're going to talk about the 2 updates that hit later on in the video. But first I want to talk about this. What's that? Why, yes, this is a Half-Life themed vinyl wrap for the Steam Deck. I'm not very good at applying vinyl wraps, apparently. I learned that today, but it looks great. It feels pretty good in the hand. I love this design. And friend of the show, Mosquito Designs, actually sent me a few of these. Actually, all the designs that he has up on his Etsy shop right now. He's not paying me, he just sent me these. The other 2 designs are a Portal theme and a Minecraft theme. And I actually really like these, and I'd love to see him do more. So if you guys are interested in any of these, the Half-Life, the Portal, or the Minecraft, why not check out the link below and tell him I sent you. And again, he's not paying for a sponsorship or anything. I just figured I'd give him a shout out. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is that Gaming on Linux reported the Steam Deck verified program now has over 3,000 games rated as either verified or playable. That's yet another huge milestone for the deck, and when you count all the games that have a rating, including unsupported, that means that about 11% of the total number of games in the Steam catalog have actually received a ranking. That's pretty awesome, but there's still a ways to go. I'm excited to see what the numbers look like when Valve's actually done with this. So next up, it looks like iFixIt accidentally launched their product pages for most of the replacement parts they intend to sell for the Steam Deck, with some folks even managing to get orders in. In a statement on Twitter, iFixIt said, quote, "Earlier today, we published some pages related to our upcoming parts launch with Valve. These went live earlier than we planned, so we ended up taking them down. If you did get a parts order in, we will honor it," blue heart emoji. "Stay tuned for the real launch soon." Interestingly, if you wanted to buy all the parts to build your own Steam Deck, it would cost you around $815 US. That's $465 US for all the parts and $350 for the motherboard. Quite a bit more than I was expecting, though honestly, this might give us some insight into the actual cost of the Steam Deck. If we assume that these parts are being marked up 30%, which is a standard markup rate in retail, then we might be able to get a rough estimate of what these parts might actually cost Valve to procure from their suppliers. So if we assume that iFixIt is charging a 30% markup on each SKU here, then the motherboard, which iFixIt is selling for $349.99, would cost Valve about $245 per unit. So I made a spreadsheet to calculate all this, because of course I did. And keep in mind that this iFixIt listing did not include the M2 drives. So this is an estimated cost of the hardware without the internal storage figuring into it. The 64 and 256 gigabyte models with the regular screens would cost somewhere in the ballpark of $486 US to manufacture without including the cost of storage. Meanwhile, the 512 gig model with the anti-glare screen would cost about $507 before storage. So once you guesstimate the storage costs and the price of the carrying case, plus the price of shipping, Valve is definitely losing money on every Steam Deck model sold. If these numbers are accurate, without accounting for storage or any of the other missing parts, Valve is losing $70 per 64 gigabyte unit sold. $70. That is a heck of a lot of money to lose per sale. And the 256 gigabyte model is dangerously close to the manufacturing cost too, without even factoring in the price of the SSD. And at $649 retail, the 512 gig is probably closest to making a profit, but I would still estimate they're losing between 30 and 50 bucks per unit based on these numbers. So that's pretty crazy. And the fact that the Steam Deck is really a loss leader for Valve really solidifies for me the fact that they're thinking of the deck as a console more than a PC. Keep in mind that PC manufacturers do not sell hardware at a loss. Console makers do, and Valve does. But I would really love to know what you think about this. Is my math wrong? How much do you think Valve is losing per unit? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, maybe like that smash button and smash that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, and I think with your help, we can do it. And thank you. Okay, now it's time to actually get to the Steam Deck updates. And there were 2 of them at the end of last week. The first was billed as the Quality of Life update, and the second was called the Fix-It Friday update. The Quality of Life client update was notable as it added many new features and fixes. Valve added the battery status, network status, and the time to the lock screen. They added an option to show battery percentage in the header. This can be toggled in settings, general. They added the ability to reclaim Steam Deck rewards if they were accidentally redeemed by another account, and Steam support has removed those items. They added a button to reset an application's performance profile to system default. They reduced login time for users with thousands of screenshots. Performance overlay setting is no longer stored as part of the per app performance profile. They fixed per app performance profiles, restoring the wrong frame per second limit. They fixed an issue with keyboard themes not being applied the first time the keyboard is shown. They fixed an issue with keyboard themes not being applied when there is no connection to Steam. They fixed pinch to zoom gestures being active in certain places, which prevents the UI from being unexpectedly zoomed in. They fixed some issues in the library when going back from a game's detail page. It should give focus back to the last focused item properly now, which was a super annoying bug before. They fixed various issues with the reorder controller dialog. They fixed login issues for users with a / character in their profile name. And they fixed the confirm button on the controller layout export screen, exporting more than one configuration. Now, my favorite features here are definitely the fact that you can show the battery percentage in the header, and that performance overlay settings aren't stored as part of the per app performance profiles anymore. I thought it was a little weird that it was showing Mango HUD differently per game. And then we get to the Friday night update, the Fix-It Friday update, and this included a few small things as well. And the important ones here are that they fixed the official Steam controller layouts not loading in certain scenarios, and thank goodness they did, because there were several games that I couldn't play after the last update because the controller just wasn't being recognized by the game. And they also fixed a performance overlay setting being forgotten after suspend and resume cycles. And I totally missed this when I was writing my script, but Valve actually dropped a new SteamOS 3.2 beta. They made it so that the microSD card formatting process now performs a quick format. They pushed an update to the fan controller that allows the fan to just completely stop under 40 degrees, which should make the deck way more quiet. And they also then pushed an update the following day on the 20th to revert the fan controller to the previous version so that the team can do more testing and improvements, because people were reporting that it was a little too aggressive with the fan curve and the deck was overheating. But that was in the beta channel. Anyway, back to the video. Now, I love the pace of development that Valve has set here for the Steam Deck. It's great to see that they are constantly adding new features. If you'd like to see another entry in my Most Wanted Steam Deck Features and Fixes series, let me know down in the comments. And speaking of comments, I'd love to know what you think. What's one feature that you'd like to see make its way to the Steam Deck? Leave a comment and let me know. And if you use the hashtag DeckRequest, I'll try to answer your question in an upcoming video. I want to give a special shout out to Marcus Batson, one of my top tier Singularity members over on Patreon. It's because of people like Marcus that I'm able to continue making these videos for you. If you believe in the work that I'm doing and you want to help this show grow, consider using the links below to become a Linux warrior over on Patreon or as a YouTube member. I think that's going to do it for now though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.